Andrea here from createyourfuture.co. So today we have Carol joining us. Hi, Carol.
Hi, everybody.
Guys, so we have a really exciting success story from one of Carol's clients. So in this success story, the client actually turned the situation around from him not wanting a relationship to actually like wanting a relationship, calling her beautiful butterfly, all these wonderful things. And I think that's so often the case. I know even in my relationship, I had the same thing with Andrew. Somehow he didn't want a relationship all of a sudden, right? And I turned that around. So I think that is most often the cases that we have in this is we don't think the other person wants a relationship. And we're going to go through the success story, important points, one of them being about the time delay, why things don't happen instantly sometimes, and what to do while we're waiting. So yes, thank you, Carol, for being here.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me. Okay, so this story is she has been working on manifesting a relationship with SB. The communication has been a little off. When we saw each other last time, she was having what she called a mini meltdown because she hadn't spoken to him in about 2 weeks, and before that it was very superficial, just like an hey, what's up, how are you doing type of deal. And then after the session, she mentioned that she's like, no, like I'm going to do this. I care too much for this. I am creating the whole thing. I have the power. I have invested too much time to let this go. So no, I got this. And of course we went on this like, revised intentions, and she started doing these looping intentions where she just repeated the intentions all the time, constantly. And she focused on these intentions of like, my SB, he's like 100% ready. He claims me as his girlfriend. We talk all day, all the time. He wants to be with me. I'm his favorite person. He only has eyes for me. He values me, and he worships the ground I walk on, which, by the way, she got from one of your videos. She's like, Amanda said that? And I'm like, oh, I'm going to add it to my looping.
Oh yeah.
Yes, yeah. She's like, oh my gosh, I heard that, and I had to add it to my looping. And then one of my favorite ones, which I do it every day, and I say it every day, is every day I see evidence that he loves me. And it's one of my favorite ones because it's just, yeah, whatever evidence I get, it's evidence that he loves me, so I'll take it. And then she just kept looping and working on it, and working on that time, what to do, that we discuss, how, always go to the now, go to the moment. And actually, she said that a few days ago, out of the blue, he just called her, and all of a sudden, like, this shower of compliments and things just started to just come up. And she was like, what like, she was expecting the text and the call, but he was like, you're so beautiful. You have the whole package. You're like a butterfly. You're like beautiful like a butterfly. I'm so proud of you. You work so hard. Everything you do is great. And I was like, so did you intend to be called a butterfly? And she's like, no, but I have a butterfly tattoo. Maybe that's what. And she's like, well, he's been on point, every day, showering her with compliments, with attention, with loving attention, wanting this. And I mean, she just had a shift. She had a shift, and all of a sudden there it is. She didn't waver at all. Right. After the mini meltdown, she was like, no, I got this. I got this, and I'm going for it.
Right. One thing that is so amazing. I'm so proud of her, and I'm so happy for her. I just love it. I mean, that's really why we specialize in relationship coaching, is because I want everyone to be in a loving relationship with somebody. Like, I really do. It feels so good, to have somebody that loves and supports you. And I mean, I tell Andrew this all the time, that he's a big part of my success because he believed in me even when I didn't believe in me. And just to have that little bit where you wake up and you're like, somebody actually likes being around me. Like, I'm pretty cool.
That's awesome.
The one thing I wanted to kind of quickly touch on was the talk about the beautiful butterfly. Now, that's a really good example of how sometimes things are created generally. So if we generally say, look, you know what, people just give me compliments all the time. The compliments that can't come up, won't be specifically what you've intended. There'll be things like, you're a beautiful butterfly, you're gorgeous. Like I said, Andrew always compliments me, and he's constantly telling me that I'm beautiful, that I'm gorgeous, and all these other things. And I never actually specifically intended for him to call me gorgeous. The funny thing is gorgeous is Andrew's favorite word. If you guys look at and watch Jerry's or other channel, Andrew always says, "This gorgeous, it's gorgeous." Like he constantly, we're going to get t-shirts that say it's gorgeous, because he constantly, so when I intended that he would compliment me all the time, of course he was going to say, "I'm gorgeous," because that's his favorite word. Right?
Yeah.
You know, so things can sometimes, you know, so if you say, I intend for people to always do nice things for me, then people are going to do nice things for you in all these different ways that you may not have specifically intended, which is okay. You can be as general specific as you like. So just a little insight on how that was created. She may not have specifically known, right? Or she thought of it and forgot. That too.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
It was a beautiful compliment, and again, like, you can make it mean whatever you want it to mean. So you decide that just means that he adores you and he thinks you're the most beautiful woman in the world, and that's that, you know. And yeah, so one of the things that with the time delay that we touch base on, it's how we're so lucky to have it. I know that sometimes we kind of want our intentions to manifest like this, but we are actually really lucky to have it, because when you're literally trying to change one belief system for another, you need that time to really get in there and imprint that in your subconscious mind, and and we use that time for that, and just thinking, you know, we have so many thoughts a day, negative, positive, just weird thoughts, I don't know, and I do imagine what our life would be like if every single thought that we had manifested instantly. I mean, it would be crazy. And even you're manifesting your SB and you're there with him, like cuddling, and yes, I got my intentions and here they are, and he's there, and all of a sudden you have a fleeting thought that he's with somebody else, and all of a sudden he gets up and he goes away because he just had the thought that he went. Like,
or the girl pops into the living room and says, you know, no, you know what? That's so true, because if there wasn't a time delay, I'd have a tiger, I'd have an elephant, I'd have a zebra, a couple zebras. I'd have, you know, seriously, a giraffe. Like I would have a lot of things in my
I would have a lot of things.
Seriously, like it gives us time to reconsider and to really put our energy towards what we want. I know it seems like, oh, that's no, you know, but at the same time, it's like, well, you know, it kind of does work in our benefit, you know. I mean,
it does, because the universe was created perfectly, and we were created perfectly, and we were giving that, and that's a blessing. That's a blessing, because it gives us time to create perfection. Because you're working on the version of this person that you want to bring into your reality, and you want that to be perfection already. And you know, and it gives you time. You have a fleeting thought. Guess what? You have all the time in the world to be like, nope, that's not what's going to happen. This is going to happen. You know, so make it your friend. You know, it is your friend. It is your friend. It's just a matter of continue intending and persisting and bringing yourself to the moment every single time. It's like, this is happening right now. It's happening right this moment. Right now it's happening. Like, it's coming, it's happening. And bring yourself to the moment, because essentially, to me, that's living in the end. Every time you bring yourself to the moment, you're living in the end.
Exactly. No, that is dead on there, dead on. So, you know, and the other part, you know, of so that's the time delay. What do you do when you're waiting? I mean, you know, that's always like the $1 million question.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's, again, you take yourself right there. It's happening right now. He's thinking about me right now. I am all he thinks about. And I always have this thing, like, you know, like you're always looking for evidence. Just grab your phone and just picture him on the other side of your phone. He's on the other side of this phone, like picking it up right now and thinking about me and writing that text. And it's just, you know, creating the story that suits you, that benefits you. At the moment, you know, we're seeing this. Okay, I just have to work on this. Continue working on it. You only have 2 choices, but only one gets you what you want, you know?
Right. Because I'm like the queen of improv acting and like a comedian here. So this is what it looks like, guys, is I'm sitting here and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, you know what? Andrew hasn't texted me yet. Oh, I wonder why. No, I intend for Andrew to text me right now. I intend for him to drop his phone in the middle of court, whatever he's doing, and text me right now. He's actually in court right now. I intend for him to drop everything. You know what? They're going to call for like a 5-minute recess, and he's going to call me. We may have to pause the video.
I did it right now too. It's like, I decided that you're going to call me, by the way. Like, I have these mental conversations with him all the time.
Right. So that's what we're talking about when you're waiting, is to not be waiting and to start creating in that moment with an intention.
Exactly.
Plan, aim. The other thing, right, is guys, look at this, is are you creating things that you need to do first before you're going to get what you want? Meaning, are you saying, oh, I need to do this before I'm going to get that? You got to make sure that you're not doing that to yourself. You're not like putting a prerequisite, a requirement on to whatever you want, right? So yeah, you know what, I do want him to call me, but I'm going to lose 5 pounds first. No. Oh, you know what, I do want, you know, my YouTube channel to like go viral, but you know what, I've got to do a really good video first. No, start declaring that you've got to done enough right now and everything's going to happen right now, and you've done everything that you need to do, and it's going to happen. So, you know, you're good enough right now that you don't have to actually do anything before what you want is going to happen, because that's also going to make you wait, right?
Yeah, it's like creating, yeah, like you don't want to create more circumstances where like they don't really exist, because you need to claim what it is that you want to bring into your reality and just focus on it. Like just claim it. It's yours. You thought about it. It already exists. You're meant to have it. Go ahead, just claim it.
It's yours. Exactly. Exactly. That was the word, circumstances.
Yeah.
I think
well, I'm getting pushed out, so I had to say it.
I think the other really big part of this, okay, and something that we talk a lot about here at Create Your Future, but I never heard a lot of it outside, is recreating what you want the other person to think, you know, and recreating what you want them to think about you. And this is important no matter what the setting is, whether it's clients, whether it's, you know, teachers, whether it's, you know, like an SP, a specific person, whether it's your parents, whether it's your friends. I mean, you turn around and you got to be specific and intentional on what you want them to think about you, because all too often, not often, but the only reason why somebody doesn't want to be with you is because you don't think they want to be with you. The only reason somebody doesn't want a relationship is because you don't think they want a relationship. So
Exactly.
You've got to change that story with them, and you got to rewrite and keep going over the new story about what you think they think until it feels natural and you start to see it show up in your reality. So, you know, as long as you're looking for evidence and you're not getting that evidence, change the story, do an intention, until all of a sudden one day you're like, whoa, wow, right?
Well, that happened.
Yeah, right, exactly. Well, that happened. Right. Exactly. That's a big part of it. Like being disciplined and focused on our thoughts, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's about choosing every single time, choosing the reality that you want every single time. It's like you always have to make a choice during those moments when you have these negative thoughts. You always have to make a choice, and there's two ways. Like, is this not working? Am I not doing this enough? Am I not doing this right? Or just choose the one path. Like, no, I got this. This is mine. I got it. Like, I'm got my reality. There's always two ways to go about it, and I always say only one gets you what you want. Which one are you going to choose?
Exactly. So guys, some great information here. You know what? Definitely change the story about the other person. The time delay is in your benefit, but you can also, you know, say this is happening, it's happening now. But again, you know, the time delay is okay. It's not a big deal. You know, we'd all have, you know, these odd things in our yards. We didn't have it. It's to a point, right? You know, and, you know, definitely take a look at, you know, what to do when you're waiting, right? Like, you know, what are you doing? I mean, waiting is already the wrong story. It's happening now. And that should be what you're saying instead of the waiting. So yeah, excellent tips, Carol. Amazing.
Awesome.
And guys, thank you guys so much for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. And if you guys want to ask me, Amanda, any questions, please definitely join the Patreon and I'll answer them over there. We've got the Patreon, so that way I can get to everybody's question and everybody gets a fair chance at getting their question answered. So yeah, definitely meet me over there and answer your questions. Thanks, Carol.
Bye. Thank you. Bye.